Think about goal scorers: Robert Lewandowski, Luis Suarez, Erling Haaland, or maybe strikers from the past: Gerd Müller, Alan Shearer, Christian Vieri, Rudi Völler, Miroslav Klose. You see, these kinds of strikers are born to score goals. They're a goal scorer who can fit into a squad of footballers to provide the finishing product. Then there are the likes of Marco van Basten, Harry Kane, Karim Benzema, Roberto Firmino. These kinds of strikers are great footballers who can also take responsibility for scoring a serious number of goals every season. But are these lines parallel? If not, where did the two meet? Where Ronaldo was born? You may say that someone like Van Basten was born before Ronaldo, and you're right. The point is, how I see it, Van Basten was a different breed. But Ronaldo, as they would say, is a phenomenon. I like Van Basten more, but there was a reason he was called O Fenómeno. That's right, I'm not talking about Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo. The player we're about to watch together is none other than Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima. Born on September 18th, 1976, Rio de Janeiro, Ronaldo was revolutionary when he introduced himself to football and Europe in 1994. But what happened? Let's see. When he was 11, his parents got divorced and separated. After this, Ronaldo dropped out of school and joined the local futsal team when he was 12. He won the championship with his club, becoming the top scorer of the tournament at a young age. I always wondered, how is it possible to play like he used to play and be a striker, the main threat of scoring, at the same time? Well, starting with indoor football as a footballer explains itself. It suddenly became much more logical. Ronaldo's first professional club was Cruzeiro, back in Brazil, more than 300 kilometers away from Rio de Janeiro. It was such a bizarre choice for a talent like him to refuse joining one of the top clubs of Brazil at the time. But then again, he was a revolutionary player. His first and only season as a professional player at Cruzeiro ended with a ridiculous number of 34 goals in 34 games for a 17-year-old. His unbelievable performance forced Carlos Alberto Pereira, the Brazil national coach at the time, to call him up for the upcoming World Cup in the USA in 1994. Although Brazil went on to win the cup in one of the most dramatic World Cup finals ever, where Roberto Baggio, the best player in the world at the time, missed his penalty for Italy, Ronaldo did not play a single minute of the tournament. He was in the squad, so he got the winning medal. Romario, Brazil's star at the tournament and Ronaldo's teammate, advised him to go to PSV Eindhoven, and Ronaldo, not being an arrogant young lad like today's footballers, listened to his older teammate. His time at this big club in the Netherlands was helpful at introducing him to Europe as a rising star. After 2 years and winning only a KNVB Cup, he saw his future in Catalonia, where Sir Bobby Robson's eyes were enchanted by the talent of the Brazilian. Barcelona broke the world's transfer record for Ronaldo, and I guess it was worth it. In his first season at Barcelona, Ronaldo scored an impressive 47 goals in 49 games at Barcelona, with 34 goals in 37 games at La Liga. He won the Pichichi Award, which is given every season to the top scorer of the league. Winning the Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, and UEFA Cup Winners' Cup helped him win the prestigious Ballon d'Or. Not really valuable anymore though, for the very first time. To this day, he's still the youngest footballer to have won the Ballon d'Or, when he hadn't even yet turned 21. Shockingly, his time at Barcelona wouldn't continue, as he was transferred to Inter Milan, where he signed a 5-year contract with the Nerazzurri. First season at the Italian club, Ronaldo helped Inter to win the UEFA Cup, scoring the third last nail in the coffin goal to Lazio. And of course, the Jules Rimet winner coach for Brazil calls up the most important player of Seleção for the 1998 World Cup in France. So begins Ronaldo's career at the World Cup. Brazil entered the World Cup as the tournament's favorite, aiming to defend their title. With Mario Zagallo back on the bench and stars like Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Denilson, it seemed logical to imagine that they could repeat their success like they did in 1958 and 1962. After a marathon against the Netherlands in the semifinals, the only thing standing between Brazil and their 5th star was the host. Then, the unthinkable happened. Ronaldo spent the day of the final at the hospital, but made it to the starting lineup in the dying moments. But Jacquet also had a star. The golden head of Zidane scored twice as France beat Brazil 3-0 at the final and became champions of the world for the first time. Ronaldo was heartbroken, but not disappointed. Even on April 12th, 2000, he still wasn't disappointed. That day, Ronaldo returned to the pitch, having spent 5 months on the sideline due to a knee injury. But not much more than 6 minutes after returning to the pitch, he got an even worse injury on the same knee. The Brazilian striker completely ruptured the tendons in his kneecap. He'd go on to miss the entire 2000-2001 season. He returned to the pitch in September 2001 with an eye on the 2002 World Cup, but he returned a completely different player. The injury affected his performances, even his style of play, but he made it to the Brazil squad for the World Cup. It was his time. Everything about that World Cup made Ronaldo immortal. It didn't start easy. Everyone was questioning his fitness for the tournament, but as we learned in this video, giving up wasn't really something he did. So he showed everyone his genius. It was the moment his famous haircut was born. He later explained that he did it because he wanted to distract the media's attention away from his post-injury form. And boy, did it work. Oliver Kahn, Germany's captain and goalkeeper, won the Player of the Tournament award. It's still the only time a goalkeeper won the Best Player award in a World Cup, and Ronaldo scored twice against him, 8 goals in 7 games. Brazil won the World Cup for the 5th time, still the record winner of the tournament. The closest nations are Germany and Italy, each winning the tournament 4 times. Ronaldo was the world's #1 star, and the star's home is in the galaxy. So he joined the Galacticos, one of the few players in history who'd cross the El Clasico border. Ronaldo joined the European champions, hoping to complete his extraordinary career by winning the Champions League with Real Madrid. He helped the club win the Intercontinental Cup. His performances in the World Cup and Real Madrid in 2002 led to France Football awarding him the Ballon d'Or again. His best performance on a European stage came at the Old Trafford, where he scored a hat-trick against Manchester United, the game that persuaded Roman Abramovich to purchase a football club. He would eventually buy Chelsea. Ronaldo's time at Real Madrid did not go as planned, but he was again fit for the 2006 World Cup. After scoring against Japan twice, he surpassed Pelé and Jules Fontaine and matched Gerd Müller, who at the time held the record for scoring in the World Cup. Another goal against Ghana made him only the 2nd player after Jurgen Klinsmann to score at least 3 goals in 3 separate World Cups. And he also broke the record for the most World Cup goals ever, previously set by Gerd Müller, a record Germany would take back from Brazil, in Brazil, against Brazil in 2014, through Miroslav Klose in the infamous 7-1 game. The record is now 16 and is in great danger by Kylian Mbappe. Ronaldo participated in 4 World Cups, during which he managed to gain 2 medals. Both tournaments that ended in defeat were no one else's fault than the greatest footballer of all time, Zinedine Zidane. Brazil hit the iceberg of France again in the quarterfinals, and Ronaldo took his last steps on football's biggest stage. After a fallout with Real Madrid manager Fabio Capello in 2007, he would cross another rivalry border, going to the other side of Derby della Madonnina to AC Milan. He celebrated a Champions League triumph with Milan, but didn't receive Milan, as he had played for Real Madrid earlier in the same season. AC Milan was Ronaldo's last club in Europe. He was getting more and more overweight. When Ancelotti told him to lose weight so he could run faster, Ronaldo answered, "Do you want me to run or to score goals?" Safe to say he scored twice in the following game. Nevertheless, the Rossoneri terminated his contract after only 1 year, putting an end to his career in Europe. Ronaldo was a footballer before a goal scorer. He changed the way of modern strikers. He wouldn't wait in the box for chances. He dropped deep, received the ball, and started dribbling. He was a very fast player with the ball. His mind-blowing agility that was trained in futsal allowed him to change direction with the ball in motion. His opponent never knew where to cover, when to get involved. Alessandro Nesta once said that after defending against Ronaldo, it wouldn't be so hard defending against CR7 and Messi. Even after that horrible injury, he showed his genius and his character. It was his knees that made him so agile, to help him change direction and motion. To recover from that is such a heavy burden emotionally, mentally, and physically. He learned to adapt himself to a new style of play. He will forever be one of the greatest strikers of all time, if not the greatest, because he was Fenómeno.